a Tiger kicker once used the air conditioning current as an excuse. It was good. I don't think it washed with the coach at the time, though. Barrymore is set to go. Jimmy Keith was, earlier in the year, the kickoff man, and there is the deep man ready to go for Tulane. That's Jeff Ligon, and Ligon is the number 15 kick returner in the country. This year he averages about 25 yards a return. And they'll get a shot here at the 6. Good by Duran Sutton. And the Tigers, special teams with good defense there. Tulane starts at their own 16-yard line.
Special teams just off. We talked about it. Good field position if you're a Tiger fan, because Tulane's inside their 20-yard line. They have had problems, Dave, really driving the football all season long. Their scoring drives in Mississippi, none over 40 yards a week ago.
Sean King, 20 of 52 with 3 interceptions and no touchdowns. That's 38%. There's a good look. Remember, he came on after the starter, Ali Demarest, broke a collarbone. Here's Ligon right off the bat, and he gets 3, maybe 4 yards. The Tigers defended it well, but Ligon, with that real quick burst, was able to get a couple of yards out of nothing.
He's the number 1 receiver for Tulane coming into this game, and you got to think, with a freshman quarterback, you got to give him confidence.
There's King Moorhead, who's a veteran. D'Artez, the freshman. Kinane is the tight end. Ligon and Franklin, he's the possession receiver. Alderson Mitchell Scott, 250-pound inexperienced center who took over after an injury to one of their more experienced linemen. They're not really experienced nor big up front. And right off the bat, they try to go to D'Artez, and Memphis is all over that. D'Artez is from Cecilia, Louisiana. Here's the Memphis front. Mason, Barnett, Williams, Thomas, Allen, Hogans, and Bonner. Remember, Allen is not in, so let's correct that. We'll tell you more about that. Smith, Woods, Spann, and Sutton in that middle. The 2 safeties are the number 1 and 2 leading tacklers on the team. Here is 3rd down and long. Oh, what a catch by the freshman Jamaican D'Artez. He circled out from the backfield and found the underneath area open, and they drilled one to him. A nice pass from King, the freshman, to D'Artez, the freshman.
Well, you go to your strength. You got to go to your best receiver. That's Jamaican D'Artez out of the backfield. Good setup there, and just right into the teeth, right behind the linebackers of the Tigers, and a good first down for Tulane to get them out outside the 20-yard line.
Bonner came over and made sure it wasn't any bigger than it might have been. This time it's the fullback. And some room for Joey Perry. Perry listed as the 3rd string tailback. And he gets some good yardage right there.
Just straight ahead blocking that time by Tulane. They're going to send a message. We're going to run the football, and we've got to do it sometime in the season. We're going to start right now. We're going to run straight at you, and can you stop it?
They get 9 on that play, 2nd down and 1. Memphis with a 5-man front. Here's the old 52. Play action, and they're going long, and they got a man wide open, and he makes the catch at the 30-yard line. That is a big play. 21 yards. Derek Franklin, who is making his 28th consecutive start.
Tigers coming with some pressure here. There's the play fake and a good setup by King, and just lost the football. Sutton too late, and Spann both not in position. A long gain, and Tulane has not thrown the football before tonight long. They did this time down the field.
Usually when you go long against the Tigers, it's on the corners, not the 2 safeties. As we mentioned, they've been tough, Spann and Woods, but that time they were tough. Jerome Woods tried to take the head off of Jamaican D'Artez there. He got about 2 yards. So here's the ball club, Tulane, that has had problems with the rush. 120 yards, only 140 yards, total offense 260, and they've moved down on their first possession very nicely, thank you. 2nd down and 8 coming. Good look at D'Artez, sandwiched between 2 big offensive linemen there. The numbers on D'Artez, the freshman record, he's only about 45 yards away from that. He's a shoo-in to make it this year. Play action again, and a big rush, but he got it off. He found the tight end, Corey Geeson, and Geeson gets inside the 20-yard line. Finally, Chris Smith came over and made the stop.
Geeson, the big sophomore. He's a big target, Dave, 6'4", about 250. He looked like he was going to block. Down, goes out, takes the pass, just a little simple route out to the sideline, and you'll see right here Geeson out in the open as the Tigers left the flat out there open. The linebacker too late to get there. And a nice gain as Bonner was beaten on that play.
Geeson's touchdown this year came on a fake field goal. Tight end got one for them. Tight end got one for Memphis earlier in the year. First down and 10. No room at all for D'Artez that time. Immediately, Britton Wilkins, who's filling in for Jesse Allen, made the stop. Let's talk a little bit about Jesse Allen. Has a rare injury occur to a football player. It's called a frontal compartment. I'll give you that in just a second. There's Rip Shear, 1-4 this year, and overall now, Rip on the year, 30-23. There's King with room. Chris Smith finally stood him up with help from P-Span, and a nice run by the freshman quarterback. His touchdown came last week, his first touchdown against Ole Miss.
Good coverage by the Tigers secondary. And here's the problem facing the University of Memphis. The ability of King to run the football. He has to go, as you see, straight up the field, and he gets good yardage that way because the coverage on the outside and Tulane in business inside the Tiger 5-yard line.
Posterior compartment syndrome is what Jesse Allen suffered from. Fluid like blood got into the calf and deadens the muscle. There's D'Artez, and he squeaks through for the touchdown. That was just hands up running because it didn't appear that there was much there.
Tulane really running to the right side, which is not the side normally the Green Wave will run to. They like to run behind Steve Schuler, the left tackle, but they went to the right of the Tiger defense. Good lead blocking there. Tulane goes into the end zone and takes the lead. An impressive drive by the Tulane Green Wave, and Dave, something they have not done in previous games. Take the football and drive it over 80 yards for a touchdown.
Precedent started at the 16, so 84-yard drive that was culminated by the freshman, and there's a fake extra point, and they ran it in for 2. It's 8-0. What a tough play by the Green Wave, and that's a bit of a taste of Rip Shearer's own medicine. On the very first drive, Tulane looks awesome. They go 84 yards, and they take an 8-0 lead.
We actually like going to the Saturn retailer.
I think that says something.
Who else washes your car?
Sends your car birthday cards?
Can you believe that?
Has barbecues
For new owners.
We ate steak. A completely strange experience.
They're part of our family.
and we're part of their family.
I like my sales consultant so much. I became one.
I became one.
I married one.
The 1996 Saturn SL1. A pretty nice proposal.
Now we're both making the payment.
We welcome you back to New Orleans in the Superdome. Boy, Tulane just marched down the field in their first possession, 84 yards. They faked the extra point, and the holder, the fullback, Moorhead, just took it and ran it to 3 yards right into the end zone for an 8-0 lead.
In special teams play, you must be ready on defense because they quickly got out there to spot the football. Tigers not lined up properly, and Adam Moorhead with the heads-up play took it into the end zone, 8-0. And coming off an off week, it looks like Tulane has got the Tigers napping. Tigers had a week to prepare. Right now, Dave, they look a little disorganized.
Rip Shearer said he does not like going into a bye week with a loss. It takes too long. It lingers with you. It's okay if it's after a victory. And you're right, they looked rusty. The defense, which has been superb, looked rusty there. And then the special teams get a little taste of what Rip likes to do. Quentin Spaulding deep. He'll take it at the 3. Oh, did he get hit? Spaulding, who was injured in the game against Louisville after he fumbled at the 1-yard line, is slow in getting up. That drive by Tulane, 84 yards, 10 plays, and it used up almost 5 minutes.
Nothing fancy, just power football by Tulane, and they did run the football during that first drive, going 84 yards, and they've sent a message now to the University of Memphis. We're going to run the football. We're ready to play, and now it'll swing back to the Tigers, especially with Joe Borch. As we talked about, Dave, he has the job now to lose, and he's the guy that's going to have to lead this offense and come back to the University of Memphis. And again, the off week, all the mistakes corrected that the Tigers had 2 weeks ago against Louisville.
Folks might not believe this stat as you look at his numbers on the year. He has gone 3 straight games with 100-plus yards passing. He also needs only 23 yards to surpass all of last year's totals. The one bummer, as you saw that graphic, was 6 interceptions.
And you got to think, Dave, he's really matured because he didn't play a lot last year until the Ole Miss game.
Frankie Fletcher, we think, backing up Boog Levens, will see some of Sean Sands, and Spalding, who may be banged up, might not get a whole bunch of action as Fletcher breaks a couple of tackles and Fletcher gets to the 20-yard line. That's a pickup of 3. Stopped there by Monty Burke. Most of the tackles that are made by the Green Wave will come from their linebackers, and Burke is the linebacker on the right side.
In a 4-3 defense, Dave, your linebackers will make the tackles, and of course Tulane not real big on defense, but very quick and very mobile.
2nd down and 7. Borich takes it away. He's sacked back at the 8-yard line. Well, that's the difference in using a Condre Anderson or a Bernard Oden. They might get away from that.
There's the play fake. Borch looking and nothing doing in the secondary. Just a coverage sack by Tulane. And there you see the block not being applied by Marsh. And that was the problem, to not allow Borch to get away. The Tiger front is going to be tested tonight. Some quick players on the defensive line for Tulane. We talked about that.
That was Dwight Jones, number 53 there. That's his 3rd sack of the year. So 3rd and a whole bunch, 18. And that one's not going to go anywhere. Pressure all over Joe Borich. Good job of the hurry there by Keith Cook, who was a preseason all-independent. He's the top tackler and the top sacker on the defensive line. Borich didn't have much luck. 0-3 there. And Mike Coughlin in his own end zone to punt. Franklin back for Tulane, and wow, is that a good punt? And then he tripped over the line. We take a quick break. 8-0 Tulane. This is their 2nd possession.
Hey, I don't ask much. Just talk straight. Look me in the eye and give me a deal I can afford. That's all. Impossible? Except at Courtesy Honda. I guess that's why
Pigs busting out all over the place. Now Piggly Wiggly is everywhere. More stores, more places to save big. No matter where you live, you'll always be near a Piggly Wiggly store. Double coupons every day, prices that can't be beat. The pigs busting out all over town.
I learned a lot about making pizza from my grandpa, and he didn't even cook. But he taught me always to do my best. So we use the best ingredients. We won't skimp. We use only fresh packed tomatoes for Papa John's sauce, like you'd find at the finest Italian restaurants, and real mozzarella cheese and lean meats. Grandpa was right. You've got to do your very best. It's that simple. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
2nd down and 4 coming. Joey Perry ran for 6 on the first play. That time they went to Jamaican D'Artez, and he got to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. The middle of the line did the job. But that first time, the senior Joey Perry, who's really 3 or 4 deep on their list, did a good job of making something happen off tackle.
Only 3 carries coming into tonight's game, but the Tigers that time on defense guessed right, ran right, and slanted right where the play was going to fill it up, and a big 3rd down play coming up at the University of Memphis.
Tony Williams made the play there. You looked at Jamaican D'Artez, and here comes 3rd and 4. And that one's too far for the intended receiver. It was Jeff Ligon, who they tried to find. Really not much pressure, just a bad pass by the freshman Sean King. And for the first time tonight, in comes the Tulane punting unit. Danny Lassane, averaging almost 36 yards a punt, is long 55 yards. Punted 37 times this year. Good look at stocky guy. Lassane from Lafayette up the road. I'm still not sure which is a better place to go eat, Lafayette or New Orleans. Boy, have they got restaurants there. That kick almost blocked by Cobb, and there's some room for Ross Kelly. Ross Kelly with that quick maneuver gets to the outside. There's a flag on the play, and Ross Kelly still on his feet across the 50-yard line and down to the Tulane 46, but there's laundry on the carpet.
Tigers with a middle return on that time, and unfortunately, Dave, I believe it's going to be brought back, but Ross Kelly a chance really today to get a chance to do something on punt returns. He's been kind of stymied the last couple of games. He's only had 7.2 yards average coming in, and you know he's a much better punt returner than that. Tulane special teams have not done great on punt coverage, so a chance tonight for Ross Kelly to do some damage.
Tommy Taylor, the referee. This is an independent group that's been hired, and that thing is really going to be walked back. They spotted the infraction at the 23. It's a hold. Tommy Taylor lets you know.
And again, Dave, mental mistakes that we talked about before tonight. The Tigers need to correct the little mistakes that really stop them. A penalty or jumping offside or something like a drop pass. Something the Tigers do. It's just a little bitty play that really disrupts the offense.
Penalties killed them last week. In the 2 home games, they've had over 200 yards in penalties, and they've had only 85 yards in penalties on the road in 3 games. Go figure. Option by Boric. He's cramped. He's lucky he got the ball back to the 10. It'll still be a loss of 4 yards. And you're just not going to make any kind of move with that option, it appears, with Boric. He's a step slow. That was the linebacker, Brian Williams, who made the play.
Brian Williams, the guy that really forces it and stops the option right there. If you're a middle linebacker, you got to read and you got to go to the gap. He shot the gap and forced Boric to have a loss on the play.
And Brian Williams is a tough kid. He's their strongest player. Benches 475 pounds. To let you know, top of the third of the baseball playoffs, Cleveland leading Seattle 4-0. They'll try to even the series, and there's a nice move. The pass is good for a first down, the first first down in the game, and there is Joe Boric's favorite receiver, Ernest Kiefer. You look at Jamaican D'Artes. Boy, does he look intense, the shaved head and all. He looks older than
I wonder who his barber is. He gets his money's worth when he goes to the barber shop.
Buddy Tevens, 39 years of age, in the middle of his 5th year, only 8 wins here. Came from an Ivy League school and had a good record there. Again, Brian Williams in on the play. So was Derek Singleton, who's the linebacker, their best defensive player. And Singleton comes from Brownsville, Tennessee, not very far up the road from Memphis, Hayward High School, and he's really been a surprise. He's their best defensive player.
He really is. Haywood County turns out some pretty good football players, and he's been one of the best the last couple of years, and he's a very active player, and he roams all over the field, watching from sideline to sideline.
18 tackles against Ole Miss and an interception. Little late hit there. No flag thrown. There's just no room at all.
Tigers ran to the right last play. Dave back to the left trying to mix it up, but again, Tulane guessing right, crashing in, and just no place to go for the Tiger running backs.
First carry of the day for Chris Reeves. There's another glance at Tevens. 3rd down and 6. Just under 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, Tulane up 8-0. Pressure, got it away. Ross Kelly the catch at the 39-yard line, and that was a big play. He got hit by Andre Goins just as he touched the football.
Tulane in man coverage, and Andre Goins just can't cover Ross Kelly. That's going to be a tough matchup for him. He's 5'11", not a big corner, and you see the pass right over as he's playing too far off Ryan Ross Kelly. You can't give Ryan that kind of room. He's going to burn you all night long.
There's the numbers on Ross Kelly. He's now caught a pass in 16 straight games. Play action. They fake to Fletcher. Boric throws, and he's got Chancey Carr at the Tulane 49, and another Memphis first down. It was nice to see that they made a 3rd down conversion on the play before that last week against Louisville, or 2 weeks ago. 1 of 13, and their 3rd down conversion rate's down to 17%.
Joe Borich, and he's really kind of rolling out, getting away from pressure here. You see looking downfield. Chancey Carr sees the quarterback in trouble, goes to the opening, and a nice completion for Chancey Carr from Memphis Central. And he's really coming on, Dave, the last couple of games. A very dependable receiver.
I think Rip Shearer was complaining about a late hit on Borich. In the meantime, here's Reeves on that little pop up the middle, little misdirection that Boob Levins runs so well. That time it didn't fool Tulane. It was well scouted. That's a loss of about a yard back to midfield.
Tigers that time flipped Settler over to the left side of the line. It didn't fool the Tulane Green Wave. Settler, the Tigers' best lineman, trying to run a little counter play back and nothing doing for the Tigers that time. Settler is the best lineman, and the Tigers really try to run behind him about 60% of the time.
Loss of 2. 2 split to the left side. Pressure, it's a screen, and it's set up for Brian Powell, and Powell gets some yardage on this one to the Tulane 43-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Watch the middle screen. Watch the setup. The Tiger receivers X here. Right back to the middle of the field is Brian Powell, and the Tiger lineman trying to get downfield. Couldn't get the blocks to get the screen really to get a long play, but nonetheless a nice game for the Tigers, but again a big 3rd down situation.
There's Brian Powell on the year. Started slowly. Sophomore is starting to pick it up. Monty Burke did a good job of staying home. Borich a little time. Here comes the pressure, and there's the toss. Broken up cleanly by Tulane. Good hit that time by Cedric Anderson. Anderson is their best defensive back. He's the strong safety, so here's 4th down coming.
If you're going to throw that pass to the sideline, you can't hold the football too long. That's what Borich did that time. He held the football too long. He gave the secondary a chance to rotate over and come up with a play.
Coughlin back to punt. 8 times this year he's pinned people inside the 20. This time it's got a shot. Look at that. The ball down. We'll see exactly where. I think they're going to put it at the 2. We're back in a moment.
Closeout 95. Kickoff 96. $10,390 for a new air-conditioned Mazda truck. $13,990 for a new Protege LX automatic loaded. $15,490 for a loaded new 626 LX.
Hi, I'm Rip Shearer, University of Memphis head football coach, inviting you to register at Homer Skelton Mazda for the Dash for Cash. The winner will receive tickets, parking passes, and 24 seconds to grab as much cash as possible. Let her rip.
Homer Skelton Autoplex. Ah, there's nothing better than the char-broil flavor of a real backyard burger, especially when it's put together just the way you like it, with only the freshest down-home ingredients, like the spicy hot pepper sauce on our Ms. Grazi's Spicy Burger. Once you've tried it, you'll agree it's the best burger you've ever tasted. Right now, get a 1/3 pound Ms. Grazi burger for only $1.69 at Backyard Burgers.
8-0 our score. Time dwindling down in the first quarter. Tulane in a hole. They went up the middle with the quarterback Sean King while you were away from the 1. They got it to the 3. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Buddy Taven's not going to go with anything really fancy down in this area. And Tulane went to a double tight the last time for some blocking. But this time they're going to put a guy out in the slot. Let's see if they throw the football here.
Well, Coughlin's done a good job of trapping that ball inside the 20, hasn't he? King's going to throw from the end zone. Got hit as he let it go, and Cobb and Ligon were running stride for stride. Neither saw the football, because if somebody had, one of those players would have come up with it.
A good position by Keith Cobb, stride for stride in that situation. And Tevens did put the football up deep in his end zone, so that shows you he's got some kind of quality confidence in King. But defensive pressure right there from Smith as he came in, as the Tigers sent somebody against Sean King. I'll make that Miller rather with the pressure. Cedric
Miller, the linebacker on the blitz that time, and so the Tigers are gambling a little bit. Of course you can when you've got the opposition trapped at their own 3-yard line. Here is 3rd down and 8. King, they're playing it safe straight ahead. Look at that. showed a good offensive line surge there as Memphis was backed up to the 6-yard line. That's probably where they'll spot forward progress, but Tulane's going to have to kick the football away deep in their own end zone.
Tigers fooled them a bit that time, showed they were going to come, especially as Hogan's walked up, and he walks back, and really, I think it fooled the Tulane offensive line.
Hogan's made the stop. The middle linebacker. Well, you got two good middle linebackers, don't you? When you got Hogan's a junior and Marcus Gary backing up as a junior. He's been playing some outside with Wilkins to make up for Jesse Allen. We sure hope he's better in a hurry. They say out 3 to 4 weeks. Snap on the money. See if Roskelley can work his magic again. He calls a fair catch this time, and there might have been a push by Duron Sutton. The ball caught by Roskelley at the Tulane 45-yard line. We take another quick break. 1:04 left to go in the first. Memphis down by 8.
I want to know what you think. I believe we made our great tasting brown hot dog even better. It's beefier now, juicier, spiced just the way you like it. In fact, I don't think you'll find a better tasting hot dog anywhere. But I want to know what you think. So try our new Brine Juicy Jumbos and give me a call. Let me know if you like our new Juicy Jumbos as much as I do.
If you're still trying to figure out what to watch tonight, we've got a couple of great suggestions. Tonight, make it a blockbuster night.
A terrifying accident brought Hatch Harrison to the brink of death. Now he's back. But he's not alone. Hideaway from Columbia TriStar Home Video, rated R.
Boob Levens just went off left tackle. He got to the 49, maybe the 50-yard line. It's a yard shy of midfield. The Tigers got called for holding on that punt return by Roskelley. They had 2 penalties now on Roskelley's punt returns. One was a big gainer, and that was a fair catch. And let's see if you see it. It looks like it's on Duron Sutton. It doesn't look like a hold. It might be
almost a clip or blocking from behind there, not a hold by Sutton. The flag was thrown, as you see from the official back to the right. Rip Shearer not happy about that turn of events. Again, mental mistakes. The Tigers need to cut down on these small mistakes.
Well, that's at least the second penalty on the Tigers. I don't believe Tulane has had an infraction yet. Here's a look at the dome. And to be totally honest with you, you can't tell. They've painted the seats, but there's not many folks here. Probably about 12 or 13,000. And it almost appears that there are as many blue-clad Tiger fans as there are Green Wave fans.
Nice contingent off to our right. But Dave, you look up at the top of this place. You and I talked about it yesterday. Can you imagine sitting all the way opposite from where we are at the top of this stadium? I don't see how you can see anything down on the field.
There's the Tiger fans who made the trip. There were about 1,000 at a pep rally before the game, and there's 1,500 or so who have made the trip down here, maybe more. Great road trip. Bourbon Street, the French Quarter, and the like.
Tulane has had problems in the past drawing, especially the last 4 or 5 seasons when the football program has really been down. And a lot of people say the NFL has an effect on it, Dave. Of course, the Saints also having a subpar year. Their attendance is way down in the dome this year.
Joe Borich ready for his 3rd possession. This, by the way, the 67th homecoming for Tulane, and they're barely above 500, 32-30-4. This is the 2nd time they've played Memphis. Who do you think their biggest opponent for homecoming was? Georgia Tech.
Back in the old SEC days.
Yep. 2nd down and 6. And Spalding's going to make something happen here. And he simply just smashes into Andre Goins and drags him for about 5 yards.
Not much happening on that play, but Quitman Spalding, with great vision, kind of reversed his feet a bit down the line of scrimmage, and Andre Goins saved a touchdown for Tulane because Spalding was off to the races. That tackle's not made. Good to see Spalding running hard, especially shifting gears and going with an opening.
15-yard gain. They still don't see any kind of a smile or any sign of joy on that face yet. 1st and 10. Spalding again. Misdirection goes nowhere. Maybe a yard, that's all. Good job by Don Jackson for Tulane.
Tulane shuffling players in and out, keeping fresh troops against the Tigers. That's something they'll do on defense. Played 13 against Ole Miss in the secondary and linebackers.
Jackson, the backup linebacker on the left side. We take a quick break. That's the end of the first quarter. Tulane leads 8-0.
Saturn's 100,000 miles have been...
Part sports car, part tank. This car's made of amazing stuff. The one thing I could truly count on
the jungle roads of Guatemala.
Across the frozen expanse of Russia. The only real problems
I've encountered with my Saturn are...
That'll be about it.
The reliable, dependable 1996 Saturn SL1.
Say, how many kids can you cram into that Saturn?
At the University of Memphis.